do a bit of cooking. I'm just going to make some really basic shortbread. I am making it gluten free, but obviously you don't need to make it gluten free. So first up, our ingredients. I've got this Fibre mix from Glutafin, just some normal granulated sugar, butter, and some vanilla extract, which is kind of an added extra. You don't necessarily need it. So first things first, I've set my oven to 150 degrees and I am ready to just get started. You'll see how easy this is. So I'll do my flour first. So I need 6 ounces of flour. I still work in ounces, so I apologise if you don't. But that's just the way I was taught at school. Right, there's 6 ounces of flour into the bowl. Nice. I always do my butter last because I find that it can stick a little. Everything will stick to it. So it's just 2 ounces of sugar, which in real life that is 55 grams. Here we are, some normal caster sugar. It does say a pinch of salt, but I'm going to use vanilla extract instead. And then that's 4 ounces of butter. I love butter. I don't know why, there's just something about butter that I enjoy using it. It's lovely stuff. Oops, I've just flicked butter all over the work surface. It's not good. So don't forget that you'll need a little extra butter for greasing your baking tray, because the last thing anyone wants is shortbread stuck to the baking tray and they can't get it out. I've just dropped butter on the floor now. It's not going very well today. So that is all my ingredients in my bowl. There. And it's time to get messy. So we literally just sprinkle. We're just mixing together the ingredients with our fingers, just like you would to do a crumble. And this can take a bit of time. I would advise that you take any jewellery off before you get started, get dunking your hands, because it can get pretty messy and I don't like to get things stuck in my rings, especially flour or butter, because it's just a nightmare to get out, really, if we're honest. So that's it, just keep mixing until it's all into a nice thick consistency when we eventually get there. Now this is slightly easier with flour that does have gluten in, I've discovered. Obviously I use gluten-free flour because I can't have gluten, but I have made shortbread in the past with normal flour and it does hold a lot better, especially once the shortbread comes out, because I find a gluten-free shortbread will crumble a little bit when it comes out of the oven, but that doesn't stop it tasting delicious. Right, now I've got that to kind of a breadcrumb consistency. I'll just show you that. There we are. I'm just going to add a little bit of vanilla extract. Now this is entirely up to you how much you use, but I love vanilla extract. So I'm just going to kind of pour a little bit. I use the proper gungy stuff. I know some people don't like to use that. They prefer to use the drippy stuff. I don't know what you call it. Flavouring rather than the extract. But I think the extract just is much nicer and a lot more vanilla-y, which is always good. That's what you want from a vanilla extract. Right then, I think that's at a good consistency. One thing I have forgotten to do is butter my free, which I said to everyone to do before, I am using a 20 centimetre, which is 8 inches, round tin. So I'm just buttering my tin there. Too much on there. So that's nice and covered, and then I'm just going to get my shortbread mixture. As I said, this does stir together a lot better when you've got gluten in it. It's a bit crumbly. So I just get my mixture, pop it into my tin, and spread as evenly as I possibly can. It gets nice and tightly packed inside here, and it does appear to be quite thin. But the other day when I made the shortbread, because we are a shortbread loving family, I found that once I took it out of the oven, it seemed to have expanded, and I'm not really sure why, because I haven't put self-raising flour in, and I haven't put any bicarbonate of soda or anything baking powder wise in. But it does seem to rise a little. Or mine does. I'm not sure if this is a gluten-free thing, I'm not sure. Maybe there is something extra in my flour. It does say, oh, it says multi-purpose. I thought it said all-purpose. I've just noticed that I'm actually using the Fibre mix flour rather than the white mix. So maybe that makes a difference. I'm not sure. Right, so we're just tightly packed into the tin there. The thing I love about shortbread is that there's very little to wash up afterwards. I love making cakes, but I find it's very messy, and there's always a lot to wash up afterwards. But with shortbread, there's literally just your scales if you've used them and the mixing bowl. So there we have it, and that goes into the oven for 45 to 50 minutes until it looks like it's browning on the top. Then we're good to go.